Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to Primetime Home Buyers, the buyback team. And you're here with your host, Lashley, on why to invest in Tax Lien Mondays. So if you are part of the buyback team, or if you're not, on Mondays, we go live to talk about why to invest in tax liens and tax deeds. So we always give you good reasons and we always giving you hints and tips. So today's broadcast is going to be a brief introduction on the concept of investing in tax liens and tax deeds, as well as we're going to move into some key information of how to get the process started. So as you see, the title of this video is focused on to international students, but this information can be used by anyone. But I am going to hit some key concepts to focus on being an international person or living outside of the United States and you wanting to invest in tax liens and tax deeds in the United States. There is a possibility. So we want to go into that a little bit to kind of get you prepared and show you how to go about the process because it is true a lot of counties they need your tax information as far as having your first and last name, a true address of contact for you because this is reported to the government. So, and if you receive interest on your investment, you definitely have to provide them with some type of connection so they can run it through the internal revenue. Okay. Now we know investing in the real estate market, two things are the major benefits. One is tax deductibles, tax credits, as well as having assets that appreciates more than it depreciates. Okay. And it's actually a tangible asset. Okay. An asset that you can pass down from family to family and generation to generation. So, with that being said, we know we have to enter the process having our paperwork right, our credentialing right, and being able to have access to come and actually physically see the property. One of the things that we do highlight is that you can do 70% of your research online from your home at your own pace. And with that being said, the other 30% will be focused when you want to go to the tax lien sale, if you're going to participate in the auction, as well as seeing the physical property before you go to the tax lien sale. Last week, I showed the family little clips of what I do when I do my pre tax lien research. After doing my 70%, I want to make sure that the property actually exists. As I showed you guys, on the map, when certain entities start to build properties in certain areas, the map may be updated. But if something happens and that property is not finished constructed, that property is not usually moved off the map. So, what happened on the last video I showed you? On the map, we saw a structure that looked like a home and it was no home there. So it seemed like it was a contract unfulfilled. So if that was a tax lien property and you invested in there thinking, you may have thought that it was a home because you never physically went. So we have to, one, definitely give you the risk factors, and our goal is to prevent a lot of the issues that happens when you invest with tax liens and tax deeds, because everything do come with risk and we're very honest about that. That's why next week we're going to go into mitigating risk factors. So with that being said, we're going to talk a little bit more about the process of international students and what to expect, but we're going to go into what's a tax lien and how can I start investing. And I want to make sure, just bear with me. I want to make sure that everything is showing right. You guys do know that I'm my own producer, and I'm working with StreamYard to learn. Okay, perfect. I can see the picture nice and clear. Now let's get started. Primetime Home Buyers Buyback, the buyback program presented by host Lashley, helping individuals secure their energy. What do I mean by secure your energy? I mean, when you get something, you put some work into something, you want to receive that energy back. And as a independent contractor as well as an investor, I know the most important end goal to any action is receiving something tangible or something that I can use as an asset or something that will enhance my life. So, this is what we mean by securing your energy. You want to make sure that whatever you put your energy into, that you receive that back. Okay? And just going into the work life relationship, when it comes to securing your energy when you work for other entities, it's really hard to do that because a lot of your energy goes into other people's business and you're producing products for them and you're getting a fraction of the actual, how can I say, profit. So when you're securing your energy, you are receiving 100% of your profit by doing innovative investing or entrepreneurship programs that you can take just by learning about different things. So this entrepreneurship program, Investment Avenue, is a way for you to not only to possibly secure, I do apologize, possibly secure property, but it's also a way for you to possibly receive residual interest. So, you guys who are interested in receiving residual interest, this may be the property for you. So, through three different practices, we're going to learning the research process, communication, and locating community resources, earning money by securing local tax lien. So, this is what this program construct of the basis, learning and research. So if you're going to be part of the buyback team, I definitely recommend for you to be an advocate learner. And if you are not an advocate learner, you may want to take your time to enter this program at your own pace, but learn how to discipline yourself because this is a very deep, indulged course that we offer. And what that goes to say, you can take this information and build on it and become a wise real estate investor because the avenues that we show you within our course is related to real estate research of the property and also legal research. So you can take a lot of the keys that we show you and enhance your life in different ways. Communication and locating community resources. This is going to be a very important aspect for you, especially if you are international. You have to have some ground out here in America. You may need to have a family member in that particular state, and you can start to learn about their tax liens and tax deed processes, possibly starting to invest. And you can have that individual go and look at the property for you, and you may can pay them a little bit of money just to do what you have to do. If you're out of the United States, you may have to start investing in your process a little bit earlier. I'm just giving you suggestions to open those avenues for you, to open those doors. Okay. So if you have a friend or a family member in a particular state, you want to have that communication with them, let them know what you're doing, and see if they're interested. And if they're not, you say, well, do you know someone who possibly can go look at these properties for me or and go to the actual auction? Because at the end of the day, if you find a county that accept their payment electronically or wired, it makes the process more easy for you. So you will have the person do the bidding for you, and once you win, this check or the money will be forward via whatever way. Okay, so communication, locating community resources, do your due diligence. Within the course, we're going to show you how to learn about the different communities in the different states in the United States and how to research the states specific information to geographical area. We show you how to find maps so you can view this. And this is why we say 70% of the actual research takes place at home at your own pace. Earning money by securing tax liens, local tax liens. That's our goal. What is a tax lien certificate? A property tax lien is a legal claim against the property for unpaid property taxes. The buyer of the tax lien has the right to collect the lien, what you invest, plus interest from the property owner. If the property owner does not pay up within a certain period of time, the lien holder can foreclose. And this depends on the state when it comes to timing and their different regulations. The good side of tax liens, because we got the good, the bad, and sometimes the ugly. But at the end of the day, we show you how to work through issues that you may have when it comes to your tax lien. But before you purchase it, the best thing we advise you to do is do your research and find the problems early so you can decide if that's something you want to deal with or is it worth the investment? And we're going to give you some examples of that because sometimes these properties can have another lien, but it can be something you make it clear, and it can maybe a $200,000-$300,000 property, and you can secure it for under $5,000 to $7,000 with everything you need to do. Okay. So the good side of tax lien, a tax lien is a mechanism used to give property owners more time to pay their tax. Actually, it actually is. The county puts these liens on the property and give the homeowner a certain amount of time, and that time is called redemption time. But before that redemption time starts, they have to put the homeowner on notification, let them know that it'll be on the tax lien list and that it will be up for investors. Yourself as an investor can go and help the county and help that person and secure the tax lien and give that person a certain amount of time to keep their home. And that is usually between 6 months to possibly 3 years. That is standard redemption periods. So within the course, we teach you how to look up state by state specific information to see when is the redemption period and how you start to move forward. Property owners get to keep using the home and owning it while they raise money to pay their taxes. The local county receives money until the taxes is paid. The local county receives money until the taxes is paid. So basically, I do apologize. That needs to be taken out because I don't understand why that's there. The tax lien holder have an opportunity to step in and pay the taxes and collect the penalty interest when the owner pays up. So I believe that statement was saying it has to be reworded. The local county receives the money, and that's when the tax lien is paid, depending on the county. Okay, so if you have a deed, certain states will make you put them on notice, and then they'll pull their self out where you have to give that person specific notice. You have some states that specifically makes you file it with um, the county clerk office, and then that county starts to move forward to put the person on notice to say, hey, the party who is invested in your tax lien is going to move forward. So this is what that statement mean. I do apologize, guys. The local county receives the money and when the taxes is paid. That's what that is supposed to say. All right, let's move forward. Nobody's perfect. How do the process works? The property owners fails to pay their property taxes on time, as we know. The county then issues a lien or an obligation to pay. The tax lien certificate is documented that highlights out the interest and the penalties that the taxpayer must pay and and add that to their payment to fulfill the lien. So understand that they have back taxes. They're also going to have penalties. And as time goes on, when you invest, you have an opportunity of receiving between 8% all the way to 16% depending on the county. And this is when they get additional fees because you invested and now you vested interest into their property and they have to pay you. And this is what we mean by residual income. If you choose particular properties that you know will redeem, then this will be literally a door to open up a pathway to receive interest coming to you monthly. Now, let me give you an example. If you have purchased 5 tax liens, you did your due diligence, because within the course we teach you how to look for specific properties that may be redeemed. You want to look to see how many tax lien is outstanding. If you have 5 years of tax lien outstanding on that property, and you do some research and you find out that no one's in that home, 9 out of 10 you're going to be moving forward with foreclosure processes. But if you find a property that is a populated area, high value, and there are statistics behind tax lien investments and tax lien payments, like New Jersey. They are a high value tax lien sales state, but they are 90% redeemed by their homeowners. So the homeowners may be late in Jersey, but they pay. So when you go through the process in Jersey, you have a higher percentage to have residual income. So that's what we're talking about with building residual income. And we teach you how to learn about the state, how to research about the state and how things are going. So you can determine, and when you see this property and you see the area, you will have a common understanding of, will my property redeem, or am I going to own this? So this is the two avenues that you can go in the tax lien process. All right. Then the person like you and I buy the property lien, the amount owed for the taxes. So that's what we're doing. At that time when we invest in the tax lien, there, whatever the person owe as far as penalties, the outstanding taxes, we're going to pay that the day the cost of the sale. We're going to pay that from there. And then from that day forward, the interest and the penalties build up based on the percentage that's owed to you, as well as the every state and has their own extra fees. You receive those fees. The county is only obligated to receive their taxes. So as you learn more about the process, you'll learn about a concept that we go a little bit in detail with, but not too much, because we're going to have a specific course in this section. Over the count, I mean, I do overage. I do apologize. It's called overage. So when you invest and you go and you bid, and let's say the tax lien was $5,000 and you went up to $10,000 because you bid up, you wanted that property, only $5,000 you're going to get interest on, depending on the state. That's why we teach you how to look at the law. And a lot of states refer you to what laws you need to look for to understand what's going to happen with the process, how you move forward, what's your liabilities, and what's your requirements. So that overage is in the county. And a lot of people don't know that they have access to that. So that's the secret squirrel information that we want to share with you. And that overage is something that you can use for another source of building residual income. We have another course that we're going to be releasing where we're going to get in detail to show you a third path of making money through tax liens and tax deeds. But let's stay focused. So when the lien is paid by the owner, the interest and the penalty goes to the lien holder, and that is you and me. So at this point, I think you understand how the lien gets on the property, how the person is notified by the county when it's going to happen, and when the redemption period starts for the tax lien. That starts the day you buy the tax lien at the tax sale. It actually not even when you buy it. It starts the date of the tax sale. Because if that property is not sold at the tax sale, it is then allocated to the county. The county owns it, but that's when the redemption period starts. And sometimes you can find those specific tax of certificates that was not sold in another sale called over the counter sale. If you listen to our broadcast of Florida, we know that Florida hosts a variety of tax lien sales. They host the original tax lien sale on the first day, and whatever properties are not sold that day, they have a secondary sale. But what that goes to say, the first day that the tax certificate was sold at that county sale is the day the redemption period starts. So I want to stress that to you guys, because I always stress that to the students, because we want you to know when to start to redeem, to when to expect to start foreclosing if you haven't received the check back with your interest. Other benefits to buying property tax lien. Any third party living anywhere can work as an intermediary to give the depressed property owner more time to pay their tax lien. Meaning that if you are in, um, let's say we've been seeing a lot of people from India, Pakistan. We also have a few students from Belgium that's coming in. Um, and what that goes to say, you are the third party that is helping to give this homeowner a couple of more months, depending on the redemption time, to be in the home, with the benefit of you receiving the extra fees as well as the extra penalties that will be on the person. The tax lien holder is basically making a short term loan to the taxpayer in concept, still having the property to earn interest, still having the opportunity to earn interest or on the property. Okay. Our offer, what we offer a primetime home buyer, we offer you a program, a course. It's not just a seminar. So we want to stress that. We do have seminars and we do have packages of seminars within our website, and you can find that, especially to the advanced tax lien investors. But this is a tax lien school. So we want to differentiate ourselves from other tax lien teachers or people who talk about the subject. Here, this is a school. When you enter into the program on the website, you will find not only referrals, but you will find a study hall. You will also find a group that will specialize in the areas that you want to talk about. So you guys will build a community amongst like minds on the platform with no distractions, being able to communicate with people across the world who are doing this process. So this is what we offer and much more. So we offer you that and understanding the concept of what is a tax lien on a home, how do you locate the tax lien? We show you verbatim how to look online. We show you physically through video as well as PDF, and we have PowerPoints such as this for you that is connected to the section. Is in order. You can print them out and go step by step. Whatever your learning process is, we understand that everyone learns at their own pace and they have their own way of learning, which is called their learning style. So it's auditory, visual learning, and tactile learning. So we give you all of those tools to use. If you can just watch a video and understand the concept, this is the program for you. If you can watch a video and take notes and highlight and understand the concept, this is the program for you. If you just want to print out the PowerPoints and read them yourself and go through them, this is the program for you. So you can learn at your own pace. Okay, so let's keep that in mind. And we also show you how to use online researches to get ahead. We do not discriminate here. You're going to see references to other tax lien committees and other tax lien experts as well. That because it's a lot of other tax lien investors that focus on one state, and that's nice. And we definitely support that, and that's why we give you referrals and we talk about people who are credible. But here we teach you about all the states, the general way of approaching this so you can apply it to any state you want to. Opening your mind, opening your pockets to possible endless generational wealth through asset building, through real estate. And we're going to tell you this because I think we're going to get to the last PowerPoint and we're going to work some things out. So let me get through the PowerPoints and I want to tell you something else. How can you earn with the buyback team? Now, we have different programs that we're going to be setting up throughout the years just to give you a heads up, but we want to talk about it now. Join the research and development team. So, what that goes to say, the research and development team means if you are a new tax lien investor and you do not have the money and you would like, I've been researching, I've been finding some good properties. I'm a beast. I know how to do the tax lien process because I know how to go on the GIS map, find the properties, do my research, see if there's liens on there. And then I really don't have the money to invest, but I think it's a good investment. You can forward that information to us as tax lien investors. And if we secure that property, we're going to come into an agreement with you where you're going to receive certain interest based on our investment because you were the finder. So that program will be starting up in the next 8 months or so, and we'll let you know when that program starts. Learn and grow with incentives. So that is some of the incentives that we have for you. We're going to have some more coming up. Investing with the team or solo investment. And what we mean by that is you don't have to do anything that I just stated. You literally can learn all of this and move forward yourself and build your own buyback team. We want to have branches of buyback team all over the world. We want every single human being who feels like they want to own land without having to go through the big bankers or the general loan process to have the right to receive and acquire assets. The land is for the people. This is our true theory. Our goal is to put as much land back into the general population's hand so we can literally control the real estate market. You see what we've been going through. This is not the first time our real estate market is out of control. We had a housing crisis. This happened in 2008, which was not a result of any pandemic, but a result of mismanagement of funds and contract agreements that were predatory. So we teach you to build the skills to avoid situations that deals with predatory lending as well as predatory business working. Once we teach you how to look up law, how to research on the property, and you hire a lawyer to do some things for you, you will be able to talk to the lawyer at a higher capacity to guide them because you are knowledgeable. And this is what we talk about. We want you to be knowledgeable. If you can't break it down into your own words, you don't know it. We want you guys to be able to say, hey, I know how to find a title. Look at the title. The title's here. It's not consecutive. It's missing, years. Look at the deed. I'm seeing the transfer between person to person. This is, or you pick out errors in the deed, such as maybe it wasn't notarized. Hey, some things could happen. Maybe the description has changed between date years. So we teach you how to go back at least 85 years, depending on the state, and look at the consecutiveness of the deeds. So you can take this process and do it yourself. And that's what we say, invest with a team or solo. But if you have a high volume of tax liens and you're going to do it in 3 states, our best advice is to build a team. Have family, have people outside of your family, people who you can trust that are going to help you through the process. Like I told you at the beginning of the video, maybe you need them to go to the tax lien sale because you did all your research. You see it's perfect. You know it's perfect. And you want them to see it before, and they go and they look at the property and they confirm, like, yeah, that's a nice house. Now you can move forward clearly and consciously and know, like, hey, the tax lien sale is next week. I can't make it because I live in India, but I have a family member that lives in Maine and I want to invest in Maine. So if I'm going to, give them a little change, a little bit of money, and have them go to the tax lien sale and see can they bid for me and take it from there. Where there's a will, there's a way. So that's a little, hint and tip for our international students. You can get in. That's a hint and tip. We really want you to know that. But we want you to know that you have to have some type of connection to America and have some paperwork and be able to travel out here back and forth to do business. It's very important. If you're looking to seek to get citizenship based on getting property out here, that is not an avenue. I'm just going to be honest. You can have all the property you want out here. That doesn't mean that you're going to get citizenship. So anyone that thinks that this is a bridge or think they can't, it's not. So I do want to clarify that. But you will be able to build residual income and be able to take care of yourself and build generational wealth no matter where you're at in the world. Okay, as far as if you're able to have access to America. You have to be able to travel out here. Okay. So that is the end of that PowerPoint. And I do thank y'all for getting through that with me. Now, with that goes to say, we're going to move on into another part of our segment. And this next part we're going to get into, we're going to do another screen share, and we're going to get into the process. I know I talk abstractly a little bit, but now we're going to talk to you clear and concisely, step by step, how to start the process yourself. So, international students, you understand what a tax lien is. You understand how it gets put onto a home. You understand how you're helping the community by investing to allow yourself to possibly get up to I do apologize. Yeah, 6% to 18% interest possibility, depending on the state, as well as finding a way to build generational wealth through assets and real estate without having to have good credit or taking a loan. A lot of these tax liens start at a low rate of about $2,000, $5,000. And if you have that to get started and you did your due diligence, this may be a profitable investment for you. Okay. So let's go into the screen sharing. Welcome to Primetime Home Buyers, the Buyback Program, Class 4. The process of getting prepared. Research and planning is the key. I want you guys to remember and always keep in your mind the basic elements of tax liens. So you're going to see at the beginning of Class 4, we're going to reiterate some of the key concepts of tax liens and the process so we can move on into research. When a homeowner is delinquent on their property tax, the county or the city government where the property is located can place a lien on the property or foreclose and sell it for back taxes. If the lien is placed on the property and the homeowner do not pay the delinquent taxes, the lien is sold to an investor such as me and you. The investor is reimbursed their investment plus interest and fees. We already know that we can receive between the 6 to 18% interest penalty, but it varies by state. Once the property bypassed the grace period, the municipality levies interest and penalties on what's owed. Okay, so that's where the levy comes in. Next, the lien is placed on the property. The property would then be placed on the next lien sale. At the tax lien, at the tax sale, the lien is sold to an investor. This is when the tax lien certificate is created. What rate return can an investor expect from tax certificate? Interest rates vary from state to state. Example, Alabama fixed rate is 12%. Arizona fixed rate is 16%. Simple interest. Remember, I told you that we're going to go over the concept of simple interest versus compound interest. So let's get into simple interest. Simple interest. Understand the simple interest. When you make a payment on a simple interest loan, the payment first goes towards the month interest, and the remainder goes towards the principal. Each monthly interest is paid in full, so it's never accrued. In contrast, compound interest adds some of the monthly interest back onto the loan in each succeeding month. You pay new interest on old interest. So that's why you need to know if the county deals with simple or compound interest, because as an investor, receiving compound interest is great, but as a creditor, a person that is a debtor, I do apologize, a person that is a debtor, it's not good to receive or sign contracts that are based on compound interest. So this is something you can teach your friends and family. To understand how simple interest works, consider an automobile loan that has $15,000 principal balance and an annual 5% interest. If your payment is due on May 1st and you pay on the due date, the finance company calculates your interest on the 30 days in April. Your interest for 30 days is $61.64 under this scenario. However, if you make the payment April 21st, the finance company charge you only 20 days in April, dropping your interest to $41.09, a $20 saving. So I want you to look at that and have an aha moment, because this is some of the things that I teach my friends and family when you want to beat the interest. And this only can be done on simple interest. When you have an account that's based on simple interest, if you pay above the due date, before the due date, 15 days to 20 days before the due date, you will see a significant amount of savings on the interest. So before you get into any home loan contracts, be sure to know the difference between simple and compound interest, okay? The investor position. The tax lien investor, the tax lien holder, in perspective, is paying the owner's taxes, interest, and incurred penalties. The tax lien holder is entitled to redeem. So your amount invested, for example, $1,000, 10-month interest rate at 14% is $117. The penalty is $35 for the person. The total return is $1,152. The profit earned is $152 in a 10-month time. And this is when you're dealing with simple interest. So you like to deal with compound interest if you can find it when it comes to investing, but this is how simple interest work. And most counties do honor their tax lien through the process through simple interest. So please be aware if you invest, and this is a prime example. So I'll let you go over it so you can get a better understanding. How tax deeds work. Now let's go and review this just a little bit more. If the county used tax deeds to lien the property, it is a high chance the investor will end up with the property. We definitely know the difference with that. Keep in mind the county may give the default owner a period of redemption, few months. Homeowners may acquire interest in possible penalties within those few months as well, which is payable to the investor. If this is not done, the property is foreclosed on by the investor or the county. See county's procedures via account tax lien assessor's website. Okay, and that's why I tell you it's great to build a relationship with the county workers, and we'll go over that in our next class, communication skills, in module number 5. Tax deeds basics. Tax liens investment is different from tax deeds process. With the deed process, you bid directly on the house. If you win the bid, you have a chance to acquire the property. FYI, the owner have a grace period to pay their debt and redeem the properties. So I want to stress to you about that. Property value. For instance, if you do an initial investment, the property value is $50,000. Let's say that. This is the property value. The amount of back taxes, interest, and penalties owed is $2,300. And you as the bidder, because you went into a bidding war, because you know that all auctions start at the taxes, interest, and penalties on. So that person must have went in a bidding war and went up to $21,000 on this investment. Amount that goes to the county is only $2,300. There's a secret. We have a bonus program called overage. I'll be sharing details with you later on in the program. Overage. You have an overage of about $18,700 that's within the county's grip. And this is the next program that I'll be telling you guys about, of how to acquire that overage. Equity profit to win the bid is basically $29,000. So you yourself, if you acquire this property, you actually have a profit of about $29,000, possibly, if you could get the home to sell for how much it values. The tax lien issued by the local county, okay. The right of the tax lien holder. Let's go over that. A tax lien holder is issued by the local, the rights of the tax lien holder. A tax lien certificate issued by the local city or county government entities is usually considered superior to all liens in existence upon a property, except for federal government liens such as the IRS. So I want you to know IRS beats our seniority when it comes to tax lien holders. But everybody else, real estate companies, creditors, we are priority to get paid. TLCs is not an automatic transfer of the property to the lien holders. So remember that. I want y'all to be aware of that because people get that confused between the tax lien certificate and a tax deed. Two different things. The complete truth. What are the risks associated with tax lien investments in tax lien certificates? All right. So that broke down a little bit more of what a tax lien is versus a tax deed, your position in when you invest in a tax lien, and your priority in receiving your residual income. Now, as we stopped at risk factors. Next Monday, we're going to go into risk factors because we want you guys to understand that there is a risk with investing in tax liens and tax deeds, but you can mitigate them. You can find them. You can decide, can you handle them? And then move forward to possibly have residual income or the property. So, with that being said, I want to say thank you guys for being here with Primetime Homebuyers, the Buyback Team International. I do apologize for all of the glitches because it seems like the um, the playback was not playing as smooth as I thought it should play. But we will contact the host of the platform to see why it wasn't playing, and we're going to continue to upgrade and share more videos and more information with you guys. Again, I want to say thank you for being part of the buyback family, joining us today on Why Invest in Tax Liens and Tax Deeds Monday. We'll see you on Friday, where we're going to go into another state teaching you how to invest in all states in the United States. So we'll post what state we're going to do. I think most likely it's going to be Maine, but we will give you a heads up. Thank you, buyback team, and we'll talk to you next at the end of the week.